Alexander Tanner. So I've been asked to present the essence of the digital strategy for 5 years, which has been produced over some time. And the document will be made available to all of you. I presume we'll give you a contact for e-guys if you would like to get a digital copy as well. So let's take a look and see what's inside of this document. Number one is the vision. You got to start with a vision. If you don't know where you're going, how are you going to get there? Is the saying. Zanzibar effectively using digital economy strategies to achieve the upper middle income status. Maybe if I was driving the vision, why not become the wealthiest place on the planet? Let's think big. Mission. Introduce and utilize appropriate government digital ecosystem to ensure the seamless interactivity and coordination among electronic tools for communication, digital platforms used for service delivery. That's the mission. The strategy has 5 pillars. Number one is to establish a digital governance framework, a framework that brings together, as I understand it, I heard another factoid, maybe Baron Guinea from Pulau Serikaya. But I understand there's 184 different agencies. That means that's 184 different entities that all have to be on the same team. We all have to be having a common framework, a common way to work together. And that's what this strategy is introducing. Pillar number 2, integration of institutional service delivery platforms and processes. Pillar 3, implementation of a robust and secure digital infrastructure. Very important in there is that word secure. As much as we get excited about digital technologies, when you're digital, it also exposes you to whole new risks. And it has to be safe and secure. Pillar 4, development of innovative ICT solutions for the blue economy. Zanzibar is, as we all know, blessed with fantastic marine resources. And I think there's a common understanding amongst leaders in Zanzibar that that is still just being tapped for Zanzibar's economic development. So the blue economy figures very prominently. Development of digital government human capital is also a pillar. So let's look at each pillar one by one. I'm going to go through one by one. And this is in the document. I'm going to go through the objectives, the strategies, and the targets, because this document also includes some targets for delivery in the future. This is not just a think piece. This is actually meant to be a template for action. So pillar 1, as we said, establishment of a digital governance framework that includes digital government strategy, policy, legislative, regulatory, and institutional frameworks. There's a lot in there. The strategies, we need to improve the digital governance strategy and promote digital government awareness in every revolutionary government of Zanzibar institution, 184 of them. We need to establish a Zanzibar Digital Transformation Committee, or some unit responsible for ICT project oversight and operational coordination in support of government digitization initiatives. We need to ensure that sector-specific legal and regulatory frameworks allow digital opportunities to be seized. We need to establish a practical framework to coordinate the implementation of digital government strategies within and across all levels of government. And we need to enact new legislation in support of Zanzibar as an emerging cashless society. The targets related to those strategies. Number 1, Zanzibar Digital Government Strategy will be created, approved, and its awareness promoted across all Revolutionary Government of Zanzibar institutions by June 2023. That process is, this convention that we're in right now is literally the inauguration of this strategy. This will be followed up
with one-on-one consultations with each of the 184 institutions. The Zanzibar Digital Governance Innovation Office will be established with representation from key institutions. Zanzibar Digital Government Institutional Framework will be created. Zanzibar Digital Government Policy Framework will be created and approved. Zanzibar Digital Government Legislative and Regulatory Framework will be created and approved. Zanzibar Security Framework legislation in support of online digital cashless transactions enacted by 2027. It's a bit longer vision, but 2027 is just around the corner to go cashless. Imagine a world, as in karatasi, amna, itakuwa kwenye frame ya makumbusho. Sindio, inakuja. Pillar number 2. So the objective, integration of back-end institutional service delivery platforms to harmonize and facilitate the coordinated delivery of digital government services. The strategies. Establish a one-stop service center for unified and efficient delivery of public services to Zanzibar citizens and businesses. Establish a Zanzibar data sharing platform to support the integration of disparate legacy government service delivery systems. Establish process integration and interoperability architecture and an API, that's short for an automated programming interface, to tie together a mix of disparate government service platforms and applications. So imagine, if you will, 184 institutions that we have right now across the government, each one using some of them using different types of platforms to provide their services. Now imagine full integration. In Silicon Valley, we use the term user-centered design. User-centered design. Who are the users of government services? Wananchi, sindio. Does a Wananchi want to have to use 184 different platforms and ways to access services? No. They want one simple interface, as simple as Google. Right? We need to make it easy for Wananchi to access all government services. Another strategy is to promote the delivery of innovative digital service solutions through pilot technology initiatives, testing new technologies without committing to them, but testing and learning, rapid, we call that in Silicon Valley, rapid prototyping and learning, including artificial intelligence, machine learning, and robotics process automation. The 5th one, assess the potential for developing government digitization standards to promote deeper process integration between Zanzibar Revenue Board, collection systems, and the MNOs and commercial banks. The targets. The one-stop centers capable of delivering various e-services under one roof through a single window system operationalized in Ungunja and Pemba by June 2024. That's not very far away, June 2024. That's 1 year. The data sharing platform with associated APIs to support back-end integration of legacy service delivery platforms operationalized by this December. 50 government systems will share data through the Zanzibar Data Sharing Exchange platform by June 2027. The Zanzibar Government Services Directory is created as an authoritative central source of standard Zanzibar government e-services and associated business processes. The business process integration and automation through the process re-engineering for at least 20 Zanzibar government institutions will be done by June 2027. All revolutionary government of Zanzibar institutions connected to Zanzibar's institutional payment system, by December 2026. More targets. The tax and revenue collection systems improved and integrated by December 2026. The land and property registration systems implemented and integrated by June 2027. The authoritative petroleum, natural gas, and electricity information system implemented by Zura by June 2026. The Zanzibar Government Mobile Services Gateway to support government SMS and USSD services launched by December 2026. Very ambitious targets. Pillar 3, the objective: implementation of a robust digital infrastructure that includes a modern data center, disaster recovery site, government virtual private network, and a dedicated international submarine cable system. This is a breakthrough. Big dependency right now on internet connectivity, and also energy systems as well, as you all know. Strategy 1, conduct a detailed adequacy assessment of the Zanzibar fiber optic backbone infrastructure to determine the coverage and reach, current equipment configuration, bandwidth provisioning, and bandwidth requirements. Conduct a detailed adequacy assessment of the Zanzibar fiber optic backbone and last mile connectivity. Establish a secure Zanzibar government virtual private network interconnecting and serving all government institutions. Establish an international submarine cable system for Zanzibar internet traffic managed by ZIGA. Establish a modern Tier 3 plus Zanzibar government data center managed by ZIGA. Ensure or improve cyber defense and safeguard Zanzibar government networks and protect critical infrastructure. As I mentioned, when you go digital, you expose yourself to a whole new array of risks and threats. A whole new array. In fact, I just heard my colleague on the advisory council, Frank Mullen, just flew in last night and told me Safaricom got hacked. Big mobile networks. It's when you go digital, you open yourself up to incredible cybersecurity risks. This cannot be understated. So as Zanzibar goes forward, security can't be an afterthought. It has to be a forethought. And not only that, not only cybersecurity itself, but just online content management and keeping our youth safe, keeping information safe, opens up a whole new realm of risks for Zanzibari society. So it can't be an afterthought, it has to be a forethought. Establishment of a state-of-the-art unified customer service center and an enterprise telephony system, ensuring citizens can contact reliable and in a consistent manner. Make it easy, like I said, user-centered design. Think about the user and now work backwards to make their life as easy as possible. This is the opportunity we have now with this digital transformation. Some targets. Assessment conducted on the geographic coverage of the fiber optic backbone by June 2023. Assessment conducted on the equipment installed for the fiber optic backbone. Assessment conducted on the equipment installed for the fiber optic last mile infrastructure. Assessment conducted on the equipment installed for institutional lines and government MDAs in both islands. Assessment conducted on the traffic carrying capacity of various connecting links of the fiber optic backbone. Assessment conducted on the equipment installed for the fiber optic backbone. Tier 3 plus state data center implemented to support the government cloud service and host IT equipment and other government institutions by June 2027. The Zanzibar Government Virtual Private Network implemented by June 2025. government budget allocated to expand broadband availability for residents of underserved rural areas of Zanzibar. You might recall a statement I made in my keynote, and I meant it, actually. Internet connectivity should be considered a basic human right, just like oxygen and clean water. A person can't thrive in the digital economy if they can't connect to the internet. It's obvious. So it cannot just be made available, it has to be made accessible, meaning financially affordable, if not free, in my mind. Zanzibar government budget said that public access Wi-Fi hotspots is a great step forward. It doesn't all have to happen at once. We can take some intermediary steps and make a difference now while we lock on to a big vision of internet connectivity for all people in an accessible manner. And lastly, the Zanzibar Government Contact Center established and fully operational by June 2027. Number 4, the objective, development, deployment, and operationalization of innovative ICT solutions to promote and accelerate the growth of a sustainable blue economy in Zanzibar. The strategy, deploy autonomous drones to monitor and track illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing activities, which happens a lot in Zanzibar's international waters, Tanzania's international waters. In the Zanzibar Exclusive Economic Zone, to establish a terrestrial automatic identification system for ship-to-shore communications as a collision avoidance system, as well as monitor and track illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing activities in the Zanzibar Exclusive Economic Zone. Establish a vessel monitoring system to allow environmental and Zanzibar fisheries regulatory organizations to track and monitor activities of fishing vessels in the territorial waters of Zanzibar. Establish a synthetic aperture radar satellite imaging system as an all-weather system for producing high-resolution images of vessels in the economic zone in an all-weather and day-night conditions. Establish a Zanzibar Blue Digital Hub Lab to promote research, local development, and rapid adoption of innovative homegrown digital solutions. You heard the minister say earlier, he made a very important point, and I'm sure we all caught it. He said Zanzibaris can't be passive recipients of these innovations. It's time for Zanzibaris to step up and actively engage and direct how they're going to use, how you are going to use these technologies to create a future that you want. So this is a call to action, and that's what this point is pointing out. Zanzibar itself should be developing homegrown solutions and adopting these technologies in a manner that's in line with your culture, in line with your values, in line with your principles, in line with your vision, and activating our youth and innovative community and entrepreneurs to be able to develop really amazing solutions. Because once we activate them, we'll be very surprised what they come up with. Some targets. Establishment of the Zanzibar Blue Digital Hub Lab to establishes a joint undertaking by ZIGA and SUSA to conduct research and develop digital solutions that incorporate blockchain, artificial intelligence, and machine learning technologies by June 2024. Autonomous drones deployed by the Zanzibar Deep Sea Authority in conjunction with the Zanzibar Navy to monitor and enforce law regarding illegal, unsupported, and unregulated fishing in the Zanzibar Exclusive Economic Zone by 2027. Implementation of the integrated synthetic aperture radar and automated identification system to produce high-resolution images to assist law enforcement, to enforce Zanzibar's laws. It's possible if we empower our youth with these digital skills so that they can be blockchain coders,
so that they can be digital graphic artists, so that they can be in this digital economy. Let me give you one small example.
Tiny example of both the money and how fast things change. Sorry, I lost it, but whatever. Have you ever heard of the job title prompt engineer? No. No one heard of the job title prompt engineer 6 months ago. Do you know how much a prompt engineer makes today? $150,000 per year. Do you know what a prompt engineer does? A prompt engineer is a person, it could be any one of us, could be one of our youth, who learns how to communicate with AI, who learns how to ask AI, in particular ChatGPT and its family of AIs, how to ask it questions to get the answers and responses that are most useful to your business and to you. There's an art and a skill to ask that question. There's no reason Zanzibar youth shouldn't be actively taking advantage and benefiting from these emerging digital careers. But we need to think radically differently about the way we're training them now. We can't continue on the same path. We need to establish, this is point number 3 here, the strategy, the Zanzibar Digital Special Economic Zone to foster innovation and entrepreneurship by making it easier for businesses to start in Zanzibar. This is a Zanzibar Digital Special Economic Zone. We need to organize technology trials, fast testing and iteration to promote the use of emerging technologies. We need to develop knowledge-sharing platforms, knowledge-sharing mechanisms with both regional and international partners. Some targets. We need talent gap analysis on revolutionary government of Zanzibar employees. We need to understand what the current skills levels are and what's the gap in terms of what the bare minimum is, in terms of what we need, and our aspirations. We need a focus study to launch and determine suitable training and digital skills development needs for vulnerable groups that include women, youth, persons with disabilities, and poor rural communities by December 2024. A beautiful thing about this digital economy that we're entering into is done right, anybody, anywhere can engage. Anybody, anywhere. No matter what your economic status, no matter what your geographic location, no matter what your gender, you can engage. Because all you need is at the very least a smartphone, some knowledge and some training and some internet, and a network of people who will encourage you. It's a very different economic model than the model that we all grew up with. We need to establish the Zanzibar Blue Digital Hub Lab as a joint undertaking with ZEGA and SUSA to conduct research and develop digital solutions that incorporate the latest digital technologies, etc. We need to establish the Zanzibar Digital Special Economic Zone by June 2025. This is a breakthrough economic opportunity for Zanzibar. We need the identification and engagement of international digital partners to support technology transfer and knowledge sharing through conferences and workshops hosted in Zanzibar. We want Zanzibar to become a destination for the world's leading thought leaders and technologists to come here. Because Zanzibar already is a beautiful place to be. And Zanzibar people are wonderful people to be with. Now let's set up the right environment to attract that talent so that we, the Zanzibar people, can benefit from that knowledge sharing. We need to conduct a pilot trial to assess the viability of 5G networks. We need the identification of local entities to develop a master of strategic digital skills for the creation of local digital content in Zanzibar to promote tourism in the blue economy. We need to deliver e-procurement training and upskilled PNU management and support staff for all Zanzibar public institutions We need to organize international trainings, conferences, and workshops in Zanzibar to promote digital technologies, etc. And with that, you heard the 5-year government digital strategy. It is ambitious. It's necessary to be ambitious because, as you heard me say, the world is changing fast. You heard it from the minister as well. This is not a time to rest on our laurels, not a time to be passive. It's a time to actively engage in this economy. And that means it starts with each one of us as individuals to make a commitment. I would have one ask from this convention. It wasn't on the agenda or the objectives, but I would have one ask myself. Knowing what I know about training leaders around the world on how to transform, it starts with you. And I would ask, when you go home tonight and you're getting ready to go off to sleep, think about what role you can have in helping make this strategy a reality. Because it's going to take every single one of us to be committed to it, to retool, retrain ourselves in terms of our skills, retool and retrain our mind, to open the mind up, and to make it workable for this new digital economy. The government is committed. Kama nilivyosema, mimi ni mgeni hapa. Mimi ni mgeni hapa. Nimeshaanza hii kazi ya chairperson kuanzia mwezi mmoja uliopita tu. Mwezi mmoja nimeshajifunza hapa. Lakini, I understood one thing. There is a strong commitment from the government, from all of you and from the government, to transform into this digital economy. We're going to hear it tomorrow from His Excellency. We're going to hear it again. And if there's one thing I know for sure, there is a commitment. And the other thing I know for sure, if I had another 30 minutes, I'd give you another talk as to why Zanzibar is perfectly situated at this time and in this place in the world to be leading, not just embracing, but leading the world in this digital transformation. It's going to depend upon following a strategy, and it's going to depend on each one of us to make it happen. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much for that insightful presentation. I believe you all got something from his presentation. Sorry, I'm too tall. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, we have finished our session for this afternoon because the Ijma prayer. We're going to put a pause and I have some announcement to give before we move for 2 p.m. we should be back. So the announcement is as following. Right now, we'll take a break for Ijma prayers and everything else. But you are welcome to come back from 12:30 to 1 p.m. for lunch. When you leave, you'll be given a coupon, because without coupon, you will not be able to go for lunch. So make sure when you leave the premises, you have your coupon with you, and you can come back at 12:30 for that lunch. And then we'll be back here at 2 p.m. to continue with the remaining session of our presentation today. Mabibi na mabwana, nipenda kuwajulisha kwamba sasa tunaweka pause kwenye shughuli yetu, tutaenda kwa ajili ya prayer na mapumziko kidogo. Saa 6:30 chakula kitakuwa tayari cha mchana. Kwa hivyo ukiondoka, hakikisha umepata coupon yako na chakula hicho kitakuwa the main venue of the Golden Tulip. That's where the lunch will be served. And then we ask you to kindly come back here at 2 p.m. so that we can continue our
And for our panelists, we had planned to have 2 different government panels. We're going to combine that into one government panel. So both the first 2, if you're on panel 1 and panel 2, we're going to combine both of those into one panel discussion. That'll be right after lunch.
So we're going to use only one door to leave the premises, which is on the right door there, so that you make sure you get your coupon for lunch.